I've been real concerned about all the negative stuff in the media about the economy, about Hawaii in general, and Kauai in particular, and everything is awful, and it's true, things are pretty tight, but people seem to be focusing so much on how everything's terrible and it doesn't seem to be getting any better.
Sells newspapers and TV programs.
And when I say something positive, people look at me like, what are you talking about? Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, be strong in that. Because it is very important that we keep aware of the good things that exist. The depression that was in the United States was an emotional depression. And things got worse and worse and worse because people got more and more afraid and started drawing back and closing themselves up and being afraid to expand and do things. Situation was a lot different then because this was much more of the United States was much more of a closed society then. We are far more integrated with the rest of the world than we ever were. But the thing to do is look around. And when people tell them how bad things are, wait a second now. There are places and people are having trouble, there's no doubt about it. But look around. Look what people are actually doing. Look at some of the things that are being developed and accomplished. Look at some of the groups who are helping other groups. Look at some of the fun that people are having at their specialized conventions. I think Barbie doll conventions, God, I can't remember how many thousands of people who are just buying Barbie dolls because they love it. We got motorcycle conventions. We got Star Trek conventions. We've got art, which is blooming and burgeoning. There's an awful lot of stuff happening in this society. When you just focus on some of the bad things that are happening, they are bad, there's no doubt about it, but there is so much more good that's happening. And it is important to keep it in perspective. If you have a healthy body, but a portion of your body is not functioning, let's say that it's a bruise or a wound or a disease in some part of the body, and you begin focusing on that, what happens is that your whole body begins to fall apart. Whereas if you begin focusing on the parts of the body that work and appreciate them and acknowledge them and strengthen them, they get together to help the other part to heal it. Sometimes you need outside intervention for that to assist you, of course. But focus on the good stuff to help the bad stuff. Now everybody focuses on the very terrible, awful tragedy that happened in Oklahoma City, for instance, okay? And there was no doubt about how bad it was. But the thing to focus on, even more, is all the help that came, all the people who began to assist in that tragedy. And I'm not just talking about government help. There was far more than that. In the letter, the man mentioned all of the volunteer help that came together. When there's a tragedy, the tragedy is awful and it catches the news and it focuses people's attention. But immediately there is movement to help, to assist, to repair, to heal. Just like what happens in the body, it happens in the social body as well. Now, the more attention we give to that, if we could put more media attention on the efforts to assist rather than how terrible the tragedy was, we would strengthen those efforts, help give the people more encouragement, give more energy to that, and it would happen faster and easier. This is true worldwide, and it's true within an individual. We must not ignore the problems, but we must be aware of the positive resources we have to solve and resolve them. Okay. Yeah.
You said that it sells newspapers.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is people so fascinated with those negativity?
Third principle. Energy flows where attention goes is the third principle. Okay. The reverse of that is also true. Attention goes where energy flows. So wherever there is a great amount of energy, people's attention will be drawn to that. And when there's an act of violence or tragedy or a fire, people are just automatically drawn to it, and it's because of that energetic response.